Hey guys, welcome to the video for today. So before we get started, I just ask you before I basically give your opinion on it, just give me a chance, okay? I'm not asking for a lot, I'm just asking for a chance. That's why you're here if you're a new viewer, or if you're a returning viewer and you just haven't subscribed yet. I just ask you just give me a chance, give me a week to prove that I can try and do the best that I can to my ability. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you're gonna do. Let your friends know what's going on here. But anyways, let's get right on to the video.
Bonjour mes amis, je suis de la Logique Canadienne, and welcome to the regular season finale of Week in Review. So, this has been a hell of a season, but Week 18 has passed us by, so I think it's time to get ourselves into it. At the top of the description, you'll see link to my charity drive, Illogical Canadian versus Cancer 2023. Please do donate if you can. So let's get ourselves into it. The first match we got Saturday afternoon football. We got the Chiefs ticket on the Raiders. Chiefs looking to lock up the number one seed in the AFC. Raiders are just trying to just ruin their hopes and dreams. But how did it go? We'll find out right now. For the Chiefs, Patty Mahomes went 18 for 26, 202 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco ran 8 times for 64 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, a one-hit wonder, I guess. Justin Watson, 1 reception for 67 yards. Not bad. Not bad. For the Raiders, Jared Stidham, former Patriot, went 22 for 36, 219 yards, touchdown, and an interception. Stidham also ran 7 times for 50 yards. For receiving, Devontae Adams only caught it 5 times for 73 yards. Raiders could not close out the Chiefs. Chiefs clinch up the number one seed in the AFC. Final score 31-13. Oh, you sorrow sons of bitches. You regret benching Derek Carr now? Abby. Next up on the list, we got the Jags taking on the Titans for the AFC South title. Obviously, this game was for Uche. We love you, man. We love you, man. Titans, Josh Dobbs went 20 for 29, 179 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Derrick Henry ran 30 times for 109 yards. For receiving, it was Chigozium Okonkwo. I don't know how to say that. I butchered that. I'm sorry. Caught it 3 times for 42 yards and a touchdown. For the Jags, Trevor Lawrence went 20 for 32, 212 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Etienne ran only 7 times for a total of 17 yards. For receiving, Christian Kirk caught it 6 times for 99 yards and a touchdown. In 2022, the Jacksonville Jaguars are AFC South champions. Titans lose 7 straight to end the season. Jags win 20-16. Fuck Tennessee. 3 Derrick Henry. But congratulations, Jags. You did it for Ooch. You did it for Ooch. Next game up, we got the Steelers hosting the Cleveland Browns. Steelers fighting for the playoff lives, but we got to look at a couple other games to see if they made it. So we'll start here. For the Browns, Deshaun Watson went 19 for 29, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Nicholas Chubb ran 12 times for 77 yards. For receiving, Amari Cooper caught it twice for 51 yards. Not bad for him on that day. For the Steelers, Kenny Pickett went 13 for 29, 195 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris carried it 23 times for 84 yards and a touchdown. And for receiving, George Pickens caught it 3 times for 72 yards and a touchdown. The Steelers are alive, 28-14. They beat those Cleveland Browns. Yes. So let's go to the other game in that scenario where the Steelers need to make it in. Patriots, Bills. Patriots need a win and in. Bills, they really don't even need much seeding. For the Pats, Macradacry Jones went 26 for 40, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Ramondre Stevenson ran 6 times for 54 yards. Receiving Devontae Parker caught it 6 times for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not bad, Devontae. For the Bills, Josh Allen went 19 for 31, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. James Cook ran 9 times for 45 yards. Receiving, Stephon Diggs caught it 7 times, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Very honorable to Nyheim Hines, who returned it 4 times for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. Patriots, fire your fucking special teams coordinator immediately. Also fire Matt Patricia and fire Joe Judge. Fuck them both. Bills win 35-23. Steelers need only one more scenario to get in. Let's go down to Miami. Jets, Dolphins, game where the Dolphins at this point need a win and in. The Jets don't need shit because they're already done for. For those Jets, Joe Flacco went 18 for 33 on 149 yards. Zonovan Knight carried it 12 times for 22 yards. Receiving, Garrett Wilson caught it 9 times for 89 yards. For the Dolphins, Skylar Thompson went 20 for 31 and 152 yards. For rushing, Jeffrey Wilson ran 16 times for 72 yards. For receiving, it was Mike Gesicki, catching it 4 times for 46 yards. The Dolphins win 11-6. The Dolphins are in. The Steelers and Patriots are out. Fuck. Backtrack now as we head on over to Cincinnati. Bengals, Ravens, AFC North crown on the line. Well, it went about as well as you expected it to, Baltimore. For the Ravens, Anthony Brown went 19 for 44, 286 yards and 2 picks. Kenyon Drake carried it 16 times for 60 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, Justice Hill caught it. Isaiah Likely caught it 8 times for 103 yards. Not bad. For those Bengals, Joe Burrow went 25 for 42, 215 yards and a touchdown. Joe Mixon ran 11 times for 27 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, Jamar Chase caught it 8 times for 86 yards and a touchdown. Bengals win the AFC North 27-16 over the Ravens. And they have this, I believe they have the 3rd seed in the AFC. We get the Vikings taking on the Bears. Now, here's an interesting scenario for you all. The Bears need to lose. The Texans need to win in order for Chicago to get the number 1 overall pick. Let's take a look. For the Vikings, Kirk Cousins went 17 for 20, 225 yards, and a touchdown. Nick Mullins came into the game going 11 for 13, 116 yards, and an interception. Alexander Madison carried it 10 times for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. For receiving, it was KJ Osborne catching it 5 times for 117 yards. For the Bears, Nathan Peterman went 11 for 19, 114 yards and a touchdown. Tim Boyle went 2 for 8, 33 yards and 2 picks. Khalil Herbert ran 10 times for 50 yards. Receiving, Cole Kmet caught it 4 times for 57 yards and a touchdown. Vikings win 29-13 over the Bears because, of course, they did. So now let's head down to Indianapolis to see if the other result prevailed. Houston, Indianapolis, rematch of the week 1 bullshit tie. Will we get a tie here? Honestly, we were damn close. For the Texans, General Mills went 22 for 38, 298 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Jeff Driscoll went 2 for 2 for 13 yards. For rushing, Dare Ogunbowale, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, carried it 11 times for 34 yards. For receiving, Brandon Cooks caught it 5 times for 106 yards and a touchdown. Oh boy. For the Colts, Sam Ellinger went 23 for 35, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Zach Moss went 18 times on the ground for 114 yards and the touchdown. For receiving, Deion Jackson caught it 6 times for 75 yards. Texans, I'm going to ask you this nicely. What the fuck are you doing? You got a touchdown. You went for a touchdown with under 30 seconds to go in the game. You fumbled that first overall pick so hard. You fumbled that pick so hard. You fumbled it harder than the Colts did with that 33-0 lead. You beat the Colts 32-31. Congratulations, Chicago. You have won the tank off. Congratulations, Bears. You definitely fucking deserved it, I guess. But now, what are they going to go with? All is to be seen. Moving on, moving on, Buccaneers, Falcons. This game really means absolutely nothing to anyone because no one gives a shit about either team. For the Bucks, there was 3 quarterbacks today. All of them threw for less than 100 yards. First, Tom Brady went 13 for 17 for 84 yards and a touchdown. Then we got the glimpse of Blaine fucking Gabbert going 6 for 8 for 29 yards and a touchdown. And then we saw a new face, Kyle Trask, 3 for 9, 23 yards. And it could be worse, but ultimately better. Rushing, Giovanni Bernard carried it 7 times for 28 yards. And for receiving, Chris Godwin caught it 6 times for 55 yards. Okay, it could be worse. For the Falcons, Desmond Ridder actually showed some brilliance today. 19 for 30, 224 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Algier carried it 24 times for 135 yards. For receiving, Drake London showed some brilliance today. 6 catches for 120 yards. Falcons win 30-17. But again, it really didn't matter for anybody. Speaking of games that don't matter for anybody, we got the Panthers taking on the Saints. This game went about as well as you expected to, Saints fans. I'm just going to say that. For the Panthers, Sam Darnold went 5 for 15, 43 yards, and 2 interceptions. For rushing, Chuba Hubbard carried it 21 times for 69 yards. And for receiving, Terrace Marshall caught it twice for 23 yards. Goodness shit. For the Saints, Andy Dalton went 15 for 25, 171 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara carried it 23 times for 107 yards. For receiving, Chris Olave caught it 5 times for 60 yards and a touchdown. Saints fall to the Panthers 10-7. Again, that game meant nothing to no one. That's all the 1 o'clock games. Now let's get on to the 4 o'clock games, in which there were 5. So basically this is a race for the number 1 seed in the NFC. That's the storyline we're starting with. But how about I just get the game that doesn't mean anything out of the way first? In which case, Broncos, Chargers. This game, again, meant nothing to anyone. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert went 25 for 37, 273 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Chase Daniel went into the game, going 5 for 7, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Eckler ran 11 times for 34 yards. For receiving, Keenan Allen went 8 times in the air for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. For those Broncos, Chef Russ actually fucking cooked today. 13 for 24, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Latavius Murray ran 15 times for 103 yards with a very nice 6.9 yards per carry. Nice. And he even got a touchdown. So even more nice. For receiving, Jerry Judy caught it 5 times for 154 yards. Broncos somehow hold on, 31-28 win over the Chargers. Yeah. All right, so now we got the two storylines for the rest of the matchups. Number one, the battle for the number one seed in the NFC, with a side storyline in there of the NFC East title. Number two, the number 7 seed. Let's start with the number 1 seed / NFC East. We'll start with the overall picture. Niners Cardinals. Seriously, now this game is just ugh. For the Cardinals, David Blau went 14 for 18, 180 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Chase McSorley went 6 for 9, nice, 29 yards, and an interception. For rushing, Corey Clement carried it 8 times for 23 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, AJ Green caught it 3 times for 91 yards and a touchdown. Okay, that's decent. For the Niners, Big Cock Brock went 15 for 20, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell carried it 5 times on the ground for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. For receiving, Brandon Ayuk caught it 4 times for 59 yards, sorry. Niners win 30-13. Their chances at the number 1 seed are still alive. Let's go to Washington. Commanders and Cowboys. Commanders, yeah, they're just the Commanders. So at this point, Dallas can no longer get the number 1 seed, but they need to win if they want to keep their NFC East title hopes alive. For the Cowboys, Dak Prescott went 14 for 37, 128 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Tony Pollard carried it 7 times for 19 yards. For receiving, CeeDee's Nuts Lamb caught it 5 times for 52 yards and a touchdown. And for the Commanders, would have had Taylor Heineke, but he gave up his start for a rookie quarterback out of UNC, Sam Howell. Speaking of Sam Howell, he had a great game. 11 for 19, 169 nice yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Not terrible numbers. Jared Patterson ran 17 times for 78 yards. Honorable mention real quick to Sam Howell. 5 runs for 35 yards, and he got a rushing touchdown. You cannot deny this man is actually pretty decent. For receiving, Terry McLaurin caught it 3 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. The Commanders win 26-6 over the Cowboys. Yeah, I know. So let's go to the other game, the final game for this storyline, Giants and Eagles. Seriously, this game sucked. For the Giants, Davis Webb went 23 for 40, 168 yards, and a touchdown. Garrett Brightwell ran 11 times for 60 yards. For receiving, Lawrence Cager caught it 8 times for 69 nice yards. And for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts went 20 for 35, 229 yards, and an interception. Boston Scott ran 9 times for 54 yards and a touchdown. For receiving, A.J. Brown caught it 4 times for 95 yards. Eagles win 22-16. They win the NFC East, and they get the number 1 seed. So they get the bye. San Francisco just misses out, but they still get the 2nd seed. Now the last storyline of the video, the number 7 seed. Real quick, here's a breakdown. Seattle needs to win and Green Bay needs to lose in order for them to get in. Green Bay is just a win and in. Detroit needs Seattle to lose and for them to win and to make it in. So let's go on down to Seattle, see how things are looking between the Rams and the Seahawks. Kill me now. For the Rams, Baker Mayfield went 13 for 26, 147 yards and a pick. Cam Akers ran 21 times for 104 yards. And for receiving, Van Jefferson caught it 3 times for 61 yards. For the Seahawks, Geno Smith went 19 for 31, 213 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Kenneth Walker ran 29 times for 114 yards. For receiving, Tyler Lockett caught it 4 times for 54 yards and a touchdown. The game went to overtime. Baker threw the pick, and Seattle got the game-winning field goal. 19-16, Seattle wins. Detroit's eliminated. So now, Sunday Night Football is make or break for Green Bay. Also for Seattle, but you know what I mean. So what's coming down? Final regular season game. Lions, Packers. A game where Detroit can knock off their rivals and get Seattle in, or Green Bay wins it in. For the Lions, Jared Goff went 23 for 34, 224 yards, and that's all. Jamal Williams carried it 16 times for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. For receiving, Khalif Raymond caught it 4 times for 66 yards. For the Packers, Aaron Rodgers went 17 for 27, 205 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Aaron Jones ran 12 times for 48 yards. For receiving, Christian Watson caught it 5 times for 104 yards. Detroit knocks off Green Bay 20-16. Seattle is the number 7 seed, and thus the end of the NFL regular season. Final remarks on the season. All I can say is this season was an utter fucking shit show. Seriously, think about it. The Seattle, seriously, this season was just utter chaos. Towards the beginning, it was just pure and utter fucking dumpster fire levels of toxicity. The middle of the season, it died down and somewhat went back to normalcy. And then the end of the season was filled with tragedy and triumph. And I think that's the best way I can make that. And with that, the regular season has come to an end. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like. Comment down below if you guys want to see anything next. If you haven't done so already, subscribe and join the exclamation. But until next time, je suis le lâcher canadien. Bonne nuit et au revoir.